Who are you? Are you the tiny bluebird bound by a rope, not yet ready to take a leap of faith and fall out into reality? Do you choose who you are? To decide your future and be who you are? Who are you? What is the truth? Everyone has a genius inside, the parts of you that come alive as you come awake, the parts that know the world somewhere deep within, that inner wisdom, inner strength, brilliance, peace, love. We are more similar than different. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Helen Keller.
It's like something that affects like your ability to speak and your brain.
Something with your brain that just makes you socially, like, not awkward, but more inept.
It makes communication harder.
It's some type of, I don't know what the right word is, disorder maybe?
It was really weird because I am so low on the spectrum that it wasn't really caught fast. Autism is very different in everybody. Once you meet one autistic person, you've only met one. There's a saying, that's a saying. It changes. Like, you could have like 5 traits of autism in one person and like 9 in another. Very low, very high spectrum. We have a different way of thinking. Autistic people, I mean, everybody has a different way of thinking.
You can communicate and like, you can, do things a lot of people who are neurotypical can do. We are normal people. We have the same feelings, we have the same want and need for social interaction.
People with autism are just the same as everybody else. It's just something that's different in your mind. Your brain works differently than everybody else. And that's okay. It just makes you unique. I think most people want to be unique in some sort of way. So this is one way. Autism, it's a wide range of things. It can be detrimental sometimes, yes, but it doesn't make you any less human. It's something that we live with, and it's something that we learn to love.
If I could snap my fingers and be non-autistic, I would not. Autism is part of what I am. Temple Grandin.
Right now, I am a senior in high school, and I am planning to go to Champlain College and study filming, like directing, editing, anything film related.
I'm definitely thinking of either taking my degree in economics and either working in the field, getting a job, or going directly to graduate school.
I'm currently attending Champlain College here in Vermont, and I'm studying digital forensics.
I think I kind of started noticing that I was a bit different, or learned differently rather, probably around like 1st or 2nd grade. I was officially diagnosed, I want to say around the ages of either 11 or 12.
I do have autism, but my mom didn't tell me that right away because that wouldn't mean anything to a 9-year-old. So I didn't really know that until 9th grade. I was texting with my mom, and it just seemed like suddenly, oh, casual text about autism, me having autism. And I was like, huh? I have autism? And I figured this out over a text.
Me and my parents first started to notice I learned differently was probably in elementary school. I'd be distracted by the slightest thing. I had to be front and center at the class just to learn, because anything in front of me or anything I could hear around me would immediately draw my attention elsewhere, and I couldn't learn. When I was formally diagnosed, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago, I myself do have 2 or 3 forms of heightened senses due to autism.
I went to Universal Studios theme park, and it was this massive, over crazy, excited place that I couldn't get away from. The noises were like echoey almost. They were sharp.
Certain textures and certain feelings and certain tastes were revolting, and I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't touch sand when I was young because it just completely drove me mad. I can't eat certain things that have a certain texture or taste a certain way because it will literally make me sick to my stomach. I want to expand, but it's hard for me to do so.
A lot of different flowers make a bouquet. Muslim origin.
We're not a label. It's human beings' attempt. When they categorize and they put a label on, they think it makes more sense. We're all different. Of all the, I think there are 8 billion people in the world now at last count. All 8 billion people are different.
Labels are an unfortunate side effect of human nature as well. Labels can be good and bad. People can be labeled as heroes and saviors and everything like that. People can also be labeled as terrorists, even just by the color of their skin.
If you took a whole bunch of snowflakes and put them under a microscope, would you say, well, this one's dumb, and this one's Dumbo, and this one's off color? No, they're all unique.
We are naturally herd, kind of. We're not solitary, really. So we want to be together. We want to be similar in a way, so that because if you're similar, then you are safe, you are normal. Specific traits are seen as more superior than others, such as like maybe autism being not as superior, although there are very successful autistic people out there. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein. He was really successful. He turned physics upside down, and he had autism.
And there's a shift now. There is a world shift of seeing things as they really are rather than how we are. We really project our own ignorance, our own biases, our own experiences onto other people, and then we have to put a label on. There's no label. So they miss the uniqueness. I say they miss the God and the goodness and the light in them.
So I think though people do want to be different and have these different labels, I think those are important, but I don't think those should define people and who they are. The defining factor of me shouldn't be that I'm autistic. Like, the defining factor of me should be, I like music, I love animals, I have 3 cats and recently got a dog. As much as, we try to put labels on things, I think we should try to understand the individual first.
There are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Albert Einstein.
In every piece of granite or marble, there's a Michelangelo or a David. We're all the same, as we have our own unique expression of who we are. Yes, it's universal. People are people. We just want to be heard and seen for who we are.
I really love reciting movies. I've been doing this since I was three-ish.
I have a young man that I know who's a gifted pianist. I can sit next to a piano with him and just hear this incredible music.
Definitely say music. Absolutely music. Pretty much growing up, I've always done music or been in like a play or drama.
I used to put myself to sleep by reciting movies. I remember this one time, I was reciting Milo and Otis when I was 4 years old, something like that. And I stopped as soon as the narration in my head said, "The bear followed him and forgot all about the orange cat in the floating box." I stopped there, paused it in my head, imagined a bright red bookmarker like I always did, smack right in the center of the screen, and paused it, and then I would resume the next night right where I left off.
I have another friend and colleague with autism who's very gifted in art. What I like about his approach is that he'll look at a wall and he'll say, "Patty, you need something there. That just doesn't, that's like a cinder block. That just doesn't work for me." It just gives me great comfort and excitement to know that he's thinking differently.
One experience that I had was of a child at school where I think somebody got hurt or was out of control, and this classmate who was labeled autistic went up and just gave this person a big hug and would not let go, and waited till the person stopped screaming or really settled down. So the power of a hug. The teacher came to me and said, "What happened?" I said, "You know what happened. It's the power of love." They became best friends, and they're still best friends.
The kids with autism can teach me tons of things. And they also look at things differently. They'll see things that I just don't see. And I'll ask them, "What are you looking at?" or "How are you seeing this?" And they'll make me stop in my tracks and see something in a different way. And that, I think, is a gift.
Every person who I have the honor of working with in here, I listen and I listen and I listen, and I learn so much. When I see the God, the goodness, the brilliance, the light, the essence in them, they're not affected by anybody around them. They're totally impervious to the labels, the rolling eyes, just everything. They're just pure love. Again, it's magical.
There are so many gifts and talents that I've seen with young people with autism. It's amazing. That's why they're my favorite group to work with.
Who are you? Are you the tiny bluebird tied by a slim brown rope? Here during black thunder, here during spring rain, here in the white radiance of sun and ever on again? The rope created of mystery, twisted around your wiry wrist, made of more than just mere string. Light slips and passes through, yet it leaves you here without a blink. Are you the little grey songbird that always sings on the grey telephone wire? At the first splash of dawn's red ray, at the last sigh of the wind chasing the light down, the one who sings like an opera and harmonizes like crystal, rays bouncing, colors fading into night, like a train before whisking beyond sight. Are you the bird who looks on the bright world with wonder and sings out your clear thunder, rumbling and roiling, even as in the center the eye is still clear? The colors never fading, the rest of the world listening. Are you the bright red hawk that flies in the nightingale sky, eyes open to the lush world you fly over, feeling calm wind rustle clustered feathers? Galloping, spraying the waves of high shores, watching the world spin by. Are you the little bird with a huge heart? Are you the peace in the air between which all beings create their lives? So now, for the little bird with the large heart, the hawk that flies across all the land, the bird that watches with wonder, the songbird that sings for all to hear, and the little bluebird that is still ensnared, the time has come. And the timid little bluebird takes a little glance around, watching as a tiny blossom falls across his minuscule path. The bird leaps off the branch, no longer tied, light within shining free for all the world to see, and ready for a new journey to begin. Ready.
So in conclusion, just know that even when everything seems dim or all hope is lost, just remember, there's always a light, even the tiniest light in this big, dark void of a world. This, I believe.